हेलो गाइस। और आज इस टाइम हम रिव्यू कर रहे हैं, मतलब मैं रिव्यू कर रहा हूँ बैटल थ्रू द हेवेंस की एक समरी न्यू एपिसोड की। लेट्स वॉच।
After stepping into the pinnacle of the ninth transformation, Xiao Yan's body burned with a terrifying brilliance. The power of his flames surged endlessly, capable of annihilating mountains, seas, and even space itself. But deep within him, there remained a promise, a debt not of blood, but of gratitude, owed to the ancient patriarch of the Xiao clan, Xiao Xuan. It was Xiao Xuan who once saved him from certain death, who passed down the final transformation of the three profound transformations of Skyfire, and who helped him refine the ancient insect emperor's robe. For Xiao Yan, this was a debt that
जो एंसेस्टर था इनका, उन्होंने ही तो सारी ब्लड लाइन यूज़ कर ली थी दाऊदी बनने के लिए, दाऊ एम्परर बनने के लिए। तो गलती तो किसी की नहीं, एक तरह से शायद।
went beyond mere strength. It was one of inheritance, kinship, and spirit. When Xiao Yan entered the heavenly tomb, it was as if the heavens themselves held their breath. There, two one-star Dou Shengs of the Soul Clan ambushed him, their power shaking the tomb's dimension to its core. Xiao Yan fought valiantly, flames raging like a divine inferno. Yet even he began to falter. Just as death's shadow crept close, a familiar power descended, Xiao Xuan's clone, radiating the majesty of a half-step Dao Emperor. With a single gesture, two Soul Clan Du Shengs were crushed as if they were mere dust in the wind. That moment was not only a display of Xiao Xuan's unimaginable might, but also a reminder of the ancient hero who once shouldered the fate of the Xiao clan. Xiao Xuan, though long trapped within the heavenly tomb, retained a mind sharp and will unyielding. Before parting ways, he imparted to Xiao Yan the final secret of the Skyfire transformations, a divine art capable of pushing one's essence, spirit, and flame beyond mortal limits. He even risked the erosion of his own soul to help Xiao Yan purify his bloodline and complete the fusion of his Skyfire essence. Before he departed, Xiao Yan vowed solemnly that once he became a Du Emperor, he would return to the heavenly tomb, free Xiao Xuan's spirit, and restore him to life. But time is merciless, and the heavens are often cruel. Though Xiao Yan ultimately rose beyond the Dousheng realm and ascended to Du Emperor, the promise remained unfulfilled. The path to godhood demanded sacrifice, and in the end, Xiao Yan departed alongside his two wives, leaving behind countless memories, regrets, and unfinished wishes. The anime's reimagined version of this arc took this sentiment and transformed it into something entirely unexpected. After the battle against the Soul Clan's half-saint puppet, Xiao Yan's overwhelming power swept across the battlefield like a storm. The air trembled beneath his command, and those below the 6-star Duzun level could only stand aside, unable to even comprehend the force he now wielded. Yet in that same moment of supremacy, a curious scene unfolded. One that seemed small, almost tender, in the face of such cosmic might. Among the spoils of his triumph lay several Bodhi seeds, bestowed by the ancient Bodhi tree itself as a token of enlightenment. These were treasures of immense value, capable of cleansing one's soul and purifying one's path of cultivation. Any ordinary cultivator would have hoarded them with fanatic greed, but Xiao Yan, whose heart had long transcended material desire, gave them away without hesitation. 5 seeds went to his companions, those who had fought and suffered beside him through countless trials. Yet the most striking act came when he offered 2 Bodhi seeds to 2 passing Dozun. Strangers by all appearances, yet one of them bore a face uncannily similar to Xiao Xuan's. When Xiao Yan extended his hand, the man trembled. For a moment, time seemed to stand still. The brilliance of the Bodhi seed reflected in his eyes, and he fell into a deep bow. His voice, filled with emotion, trembled with gratitude. Thank you for your righteousness. It was a simple gesture, a seed, a bow, a word of thanks. But for those who knew the past, it carried a weight far beyond its appearance. The audience watching the scene could not help but wonder, Was this not Xiao Yan's way of repaying Xiao Xuan's debt? In that instant, the mighty half-step Du Emperor of the past, who once commanded worlds and stood at the pinnacle of an era, appeared as nothing more than a shadow of his former self, a wandering soul grateful for a small token of kindness. To some, it seemed almost pitiful. To others, poetic. The rise and fall of heroes, the exchange of gratitude across lifetimes. It all spoke of the same truth that had always defined Xiaoyan's story. That cultivation was not merely the pursuit of power, but of heart. Even Han Yu, the Soul Clan's supreme prodigy, who once threatened the balance of the continent, could not withstand Xiaoyan's might. The anime portrayed him as an 8th-rank Dao Sun at his peak, wielding his clan's emblem to unleash godlike energy. Yet even in his full glory, he was struck down in an instant, a fleeting spark before Xiaoyan's eternal flame. It was a reminder of how far Xiaoyan had come, from the boy who was mocked in Wutan City to the being who stood on the verge of transcending mortal bounds. As the ancient domain's Bodhi dungeon reached its zenith, Xiaoyan faced the final test, the purification of the Du Emperor's evil intent that tainted the ancient Bodhi tree. With endless flames of pure heart and will, he burned away the malice left behind by forgotten emperors, earning the tree's acknowledgement. It was then that enlightenment descended upon him. In that divine radiance, Xiaoyan's soul expanded beyond the mortal shell, and his rank ascended by 10 stars, stabilizing at the absolute peak of a 9 transformation Duzun. His aura alone bent space in silence, and the heavens themselves seemed to bow in reverence. The watchers could only marvel. From the ashes of countless trials, Xiaoyan had risen, not just as a warrior, but as a symbol, one who remembered kindness, one who never abandoned a promise, and one who honored the legacy of those who came before. So when he handed that Bodhi seed to the stranger, who looked like Xiao Xuan, it was more than coincidence. It was destiny closing its circle. Perhaps in that fleeting exchange, Xiaoyan silently fulfilled his vow. Perhaps that simple gesture was his way of saying, "I have not forgotten." And though Xiao Xuan may have left the heavenly tomb in a weakened state, bowing to accept a small gift from the very junior he once guided, there was a quiet grace in that moment. Because in this world of endless cultivation, where strength reigns supreme and glory fades like dust, gratitude endures. Xiaoyan's act, though subtle, transcended power and pride. It was the repayment of a debt not through conquest, but through kindness. A reminder that even emperors, even legends, owe their greatness to those who came before. Thus, the story of Xiaoyan and Xiao Xuan reached its quiet, poetic resolution. The Bodhi seeds glimmered in the ancient light, carrying with them not just enlightenment, but remembrance, the bond between master and descendant, between the living and the departed. And as Xiaoyan's flame continued to blaze across the skies of the Du-Chi continent, it illuminated not just the path forward, but the gratitude buried deep within his heart. And so, as the dust of the ancient battlefield settles and the radiance of the Bodhi tree fades into eternity, Xiao Yan's story once again reminds us of what lies beyond power. Gratitude, legacy, and the bonds that outlast even the stars. From the ashes of countless struggles, he rose not only as a Daozun who defied fate, but as a man who never forgot those who lifted him along the way. Perhaps that single Bodhi seed was never just a gift, but a quiet farewell, a final echo of respect between 2 generations of Xiao Clan heroes. Xiao Yan's flames may one day extinguish, but his spirit, his will, and his unyielding heart will continue to burn across time, inspiring all who seek to rise from nothing. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the reimagined world of Battle Through the Heavens, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts below. What do you think? Was Xiao Yan truly repaying Xiao Xuan's favor, or was fate simply bringing their story full circle? Until next time, may your flames burn bright and your path through the heavens never falter.
Okay, guys. See you next time.